Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our Monday Night Live. This is Freedom Homestead. I'm Jack.
And I'm Tangy.
She's back there.
That's Ruger.
And the dog didn't like us hollering. So she is fixing her a warm beverage real quick because it's a little cold in here right now. It was a nice warm day today as far as this time of the year. The last couple of weeks it's been really cold here, and today it warmed up to is about 72 degrees, and so we got a lot of stuff done outside, but as soon as the sun went down it dropped quick. Guys, give me just a minute. I'm gonna pull up the chat box so I can see who's with us and who's trying to say hi real quick.
Let's see. Hey, David. Let's see.
Wait a
Love the
minute.
name of this live. I just did a post on Instagram with this exact.
Here we are.
Get out of town. Well, I guess
What were you reading?
That one.
Oh,
Yeah.
you saw it on the screen?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were having a conversation. Before we came on, and I said we need to just talk about, what is a prepper, and how people have, you were saying like how there's a stigma tied to the word, and I was like, we just need to normalize prepping, and so I said that's what we'll call our live tonight.
So yeah, can't wait for this topic. All right, hello everyone that is saying hi. Hello to everybody that is saying hi. Wow, it's really jumping. Everybody,
Okay.
everybody's popping on here.
I'll
So
tell.
anyway, I guess I will get the conversation started.
All right.
Wait, here she comes.
I'll just bring my fixins over here and
So
do it here in a second.
we got to talking about this, and we don't have all the answers. This is just our opinion. And my opinion is, hi everybody. My opinion is there is a stigma attached to that title. If someone says they're a prepper, I think immediately people that's been around for a while immediately think, oh, this is one of these doomsday people that are preparing for the end of the world or the collapse of a society and all of that, and
For the zombie apocalypse.
zombie apocalypse, which I think television shows and stuff have increased that stigma that's attached to that title.
Right. Well, I think there was even a show called Doomsday Preppers, isn't there?
Yeah, and I mean it's like,
Which is very fun to watch.
it's like, yeah, I'm a prepper. I'm gonna outdo all the other preppers. I'm gonna take it up to the next level. I'm taking it up to 11. Stuff
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, they try to sensationalize, I guess, that word. But are we freezing everywhere? I don't know, because we're freezing on our screen here. But what I was gonna say is, I was just talking to Tangi about, if people say they're a homesteader, that's a very diverse title these
Right.
days. You can live in the middle of a town in an apartment and be a homesteader. You can have a 300-acre farm and be a homesteader.
You could have a 300-acre farm and not
And
do
not
anything
be a
with
homesteader.
it. Yeah.
So it's being a homesteader means a lot of different things, and so does if somebody says, well, I'm a prepper. And I like the way you say it. You say, I just want to be prepared. And that is for, if something happens and we can't go to the grocery that week,
Right.
but what if that extended for several weeks?
Right.
What if there was a major weather event, whether it was a tornado, ice storm, hurricane, whatever happened, and not only could we not get to town and get food, but what if the town was completely destroyed by a tornado or something like that?
Or what if the supply chain is broken? What if we can't get...
That would never happen.
What if we can't get the
You're
goods
talking crazy talk
off
now.
the ships? And what if the trucks aren't going to get the stuff and taking it to our stores?
Well, fortunately, you know, this is the 21st century, so that would never happen, you know.
Right. Right. So
I need to get back on paying attention to our comments too.
So normalize prepping. We have normalized having insurance. We either have insurance on our vehicles, we have it on our house, we have it for our health, we have it for our lives. And even if you don't carry insurance, then hopefully if you're smart, you're at least trying to be self-insured.
There was an earthquake in Georgia this morning.
Maybe if you don't pay a third party company to insure your properties or your health or your lives, you are self-insured, which means you are setting money aside that in the event something were to happen, you would be financially prepared.
Yeah.
So if we can normalize having insurance of the financial variety,
Right.
why would we not normalize having insurance of a materials variety? Whether it's food, water, medicine, clothing, tools,
Yes.
skills,
Yeah.
community.
First aid kits. So yeah. So that's kind of the way we look at it, and the way we hope many other people will look at it, instead of immediately thinking prepping. Well, that's just crazy. You don't have to, you know, the world's not going to end tomorrow. Well, we don't know that, but I think some people immediately think of the extreme instead of what you just mentioned.
Right.
Why did your grandparents and my grandparents and my great grandparents and my great 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 grandparents, why did they can? Why
So
did
they could
they
eat.
preserve food?
So they could eat
So they could eat when?
anytime they were hungry.
Yes. They could eat in the winter
Right.
when crops weren't growing and they couldn't harvest anything.
Sorry, y'all.
So they prepared.
Yes.
Yeah, it's taken you forever to fix that one little drink.
It's got to brew before I drink it, or it'll be
I thought
weak.
you did that over there a while ago.
No. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It brewed, but now I had to steep.
Yeah.
Continue with your book report.
Do all this here.
Hey, it's 1870s
Hey,
Homestead. Let's see. We had an earthquake in our town in Alabama on Saturday. Didn't feel it.
Yeah, somebody said there was one in Georgia this morning.
That's crazy.
Didn't know about that. Wow. Yeah, I haven't heard any. Well, we really haven't watched much TV or anything lately.
No.
We just been busy getting stuff done.
Right, let's see. Okay, so David said, my grandma cans all the time. You bring it to her, it's going to be in a can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you knew, like my grandparents knew that they only had a certain few months to grow as much as they could grow.
Right.
And they would harvest everything they could, everything that grew, and they would preserve, can, you know, dry out, just whatever they could, as much food as possible, because they knew when winter comes and things get harsh, I mean, they did not have a town to go to.
Right.
Going to town was like a once a year thing.
Right.
And that was to buy shoes and clothes, you know,
Right.
and stuff like that.
Going to town was a big deal.
Yeah.
Diana says, what is considered prepping now was considered putting up food for the cold season. Uncle Sam expected folks to have chickens and gardens to help with the shortages. And really, our government has not said that, but, well, I digress. But that's not a bad idea, because of that what she's referring to are helping with the shortages, because all of our resources were going to help with our soldiers, in wartime. But when you think about what's going on now, being able to provide for yourself as much as you can is somewhat of a relief to the shortage, because what you can produce or grow yourself or can yourself, then that is food that might get to a store that can go to someone else.
Let me give you this example. Today was my day off, and the weather was really nice. It had been very cold, but today it warmed up. It warmed up so much, all the ladybugs and red wasp and all the bees come back in full force today. It was crazy, but it warmed up so much, and I was off work today.
Oh gosh, yeah. Go ahead.
I decided to take advantage of that to get some stuff done that I knew would help us out for the winter. Get some stuff prepared out in the garden with the chicken coop. I had to move a bunch of stuff around, and I did it when it was a good day to do it, in preparation of next month when it's terribly gross outside and I don't want to get outside and do any of that stuff. I had already prepared, and that stuff is already done. So in a way, I was prepping for the winter, for the hard season, by getting some stuff done today. That's just a daily example.
Right.
And we all do that. What if you're going to go on a trip somewhere? You don't start out with an empty tank of gas. You prepare. You fill up your car. You check the oil. Hopefully you do. You do things in advance before you go do it.
Right. So what we want to convey to those of you who might have, you read the title to the video, is, first of all, do not think that by you planning ahead for your family, setting things aside, that does not make you an extremist. It does not make you crazy. It does not make you a flat earther or whatever they want to call you. It makes you responsible. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
It makes you responsible. And also, so Constance is in the chats. Her channel is called A Good Life Farm.
Hey, Constance.
And we're friends on Facebook, and she actually had, if you are on social media, Facebook has a warning that they are putting on some people that says, if you know of someone who you think is too prepared, please let us know. So all of a sudden, if you want to be independent from the supply chain, then okay, so now what? You're an extremist?
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Here's why it makes sense. There are people that want everybody else dependent on them.
Right.
I'll say that in the nicest way, but blunt way I can say it. And so if we're not dependent on them and we're actually trying to take care of ourselves, that's not acceptable.
Right.
So, they try to make us sound like we're not normal.
Right.
Which actually we are doing what's normal. We're doing the normal thing. What's not normal is trusting someone else that you don't know to provide everything for you.
Right. Exactly. There was a list. I remember this was not the last administration, but the one before that. That there was a list that they wanted.
Like crazy.
They wanted names of people that had more than, was it 2 weeks of food stocked up? If they homeschooled their kids, if they...
Somebody says, what will Facebook do with that info? There's no telling.
There's no telling.
They shouldn't do anything with it because it's none of their business.
Exactly. But anyway, what I was getting to was there was a list that seriously could be anybody. But it basically described people who were trying to be independent from the regime. So because of that, and because of, I think, what you said and what some other people had said, and what you see on TV, there is a stigma on people who want to be prepared. And again, making us look like, or you know, making people seem like they're extremists or radicals or whatever, and that there's nothing further from the truth.
Constance just said tyrants love to make lists.
Oh, don't they though?
Yeah. I got a list. and they're on it now.
You're on the list.
You're on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a WWE thing.
Yeah, that's a WWE thing.
Yeah. That's a Chris Jericho thing. You can look him up.
Yeah.
So you made the list. It means you're on the list of him whooping you. Anyway, that's that's what it all boils down to. That's why we titled, tonight's chat, making prepping normal, or normalizing that term, instead of trying to make it out to, to have that stigma still attached to it from decades ago.
Right.
Here's another, I don't mean to switch gears a little bit, but if you say you're a homeschooler, there's that stigma from decades ago that if you're a homeschooler, well, you must be some weird family. But now, especially now, over the last 2 years, now that the nation has been shut down because of a pandemic, homeschooling is, the rest of the country is realizing what it's all about.
Right.
And I don't think they're looking at families that do that. They're looking at it differently now.
Right. Well,
millions of people are like, oh,
right.
Yeah, okay, I get it now.
And there is a difference between homeschooling
and doing school at home.
And schooling at home.
Yeah, a big difference.
There are some people that have chosen schooling at home.
Yeah.
But there is a difference between allowing your government to still teach your child in your home, and then you choosing your child's education outside of that.
And there's lots of different ways that you can do that.
Sure.
There's just like, what is a homesteader? There's thousands of different scenarios where people can be homesteaders and homeschoolers and being prepared for certain things.
Right.
And I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But I think it's good for us to at least discuss topics like this, because number one, we've got a like-minded community that follow us and chat with us, and we're so grateful. Goodness, we got 157 people watching us right now. That is awesome. But yeah, I think it's good to at least discuss the topic a little bit.
Absolutely.
And I guess now that we've kind of discussed the topic, what are some things that we've been doing lately in relation to that topic?
Well, before we get to that, one thing that I want to say, and this is something that I know, our friends in YouTube land that also have channels that teach this same thing. I think one thing that has really been on all of our hearts, and it truly is a mission that we want to. All right, I'll send. Okay, are you okay? Hit a deer. You can't? Okay, is Parker okay? Or are you're not hurt though?
Guys, we're gonna have to cut this short.
Okay.
Our kids just called us. They were on their way back from church and they've hit a deer.
All right.
So we will see you later. God bless everybody. And they're okay, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go get them. See y'all.